Okay, so now we're going to be discussing about truth tables. Now, previously, I've shown you the truth table for NOTs, AND, OR, NAND, NOR, and XOR gates. Now, I want to keep it more general about truth tables. So, what is a truth table? It's simply just kind of a collection. So, this is just simply a collection of bits of a variable of an input or of input that correspond to an output that correspond to an output. So, for example, let's say I gave you some kind of function equal to AB plus C plus D naught. Whenever we have a truth table, we're trying to show every single point where the output is true. So we have A, B, C, D, and this corresponds to an output F. Now, unfortunately, this is a really large kind of case that we have to test. We start off with we start off with all zeros, then we keep incrementing by 1. So unfortunately, this is the most rough way to test it. Later on, I'm just writing this to kind of show a point. Now, so we have something like this. Okay. Now, there are too many inputs cases that we have to test. And actually, it turns out it doesn't really matter. For a truth table, we actually can just look at a function right here and actually deconstruct where it is true and where it's not true. But we can actually deconstruct it to see that we just have to find cases where it is true based on the right hand side, and we can actually find our true outputs very easily. So for example, A and B have to be true. So this means that all of these are going to be true, irregardless of C and D. Now, C has to be true. So wherever we see that there's a 1 for C, it's also true. And then similarly, like that. We don't have to kind of go through each reason. We can actually look at each specific case and see that, if we kind of deconstruct it, this is very easy to do. Okay, so what about D? Anytime D is false, or rather not D, then it is true. So we have the following cases. So if right away for an 4-input function, we already found that the easiest way to analyze it with a truth table is by looking at where it is supposed to be true. And in this case, we were lucky enough to have a combination of OR cases, so we can just look at them as an individual case. So that means that every other case is false. We don't even have to check. So there's 3 false cases, and the rest of them are true. And that's kind of just truth table. It's a collection of bits of input to correspond to an output. And the easiest way to do it is by checking where it is true instead of checking where it is false. Now, and so that's the whole essence of a truth table. We use this to kind of demonstrate where we're able to get a true output. And this could correspond then to an LED lighting up. Okay, so that's just a truth table. However, you see that in order to kind of fully do a truth table, we have to keep writing every single case. Maybe in the next video, I can show you there's a simpler way to do this without having to do all this. Okay, let's see what we can do. Okay, thank you.